What exactly happened to make these two elders at the spirit division stage sit on the bench and cry with tears streaming down their faces? Just happened. Otto brought his good friend to look for Oliver. Senior, this is my friend Ronan. He wanted to thank you in person, so I brought him here to bother you for a bit. Ronan bows as a gesture of thanks. He wants to express his gratitude to Senior for saving his life. He sees the aura emanating from Oliver and the surrounding Tau luster. Senior is indeed as powerful as Otto said, Oliver thought. Thank you for saving me. Have we met before? He suddenly remembered something. Not correct. These two are definitely here to freeload a meal together. Sadie walked over at this moment. Who are they, brother? Otto was stunned when he saw her. This is Senior. This is my sister Sadie, who is 12 years old. She is immortal like me. Sadie? You quickly say hello to Grandpa, Sadie said obediently. Hello, Grandpa. And they saw a terrifying aura emanating from Sadie. The two of them were shocked on the spot. Mortal, you call this mortal? He said. This little girl is probably also immortal. Looking at these two elders, it's not easy for them to even beg for a meal. He said, come in and sit for a while. Luckily, only two of you came. There should be enough food left. Ignorant Ronan just wanted to refuse. He was immediately silenced by Otto, who said, just come in. We all follow Senior's arrangements. Oliver said, since you're all here, don't be polite. Take a break first. As for Otto behind him, he was exchanging glances with Ronan. At this moment, Sadie said, since my brother is cooking, let me do it. He didn't expect that Sadie could cook as well. Just not sure how her cooking tastes. After Sadie started cooking in the kitchen, Oliver quickly said to Otto, be mindful of your table manners this time with a child around. Don't set a bad example. Otto, feeling embarrassed, nodded in response. Ronan asked in a puzzled manner, what were you all doing at Senior's house before that? And you even had the nerve to come to Senior's house for a free meal. How shameless of you. Otto said with a dark face, if you dare, don't eat later. His words had just fallen when a fragrant smell wafted from the kitchen. Shortly after, Sadie walked out holding a meal. At the moment she lifted the lid, a golden light radiated from the pot. The sudden flash blinded the two of them. What kind of extraordinary treasure is this? In no time, the meal was eaten clean by the two of them. Thank you for Senior's hospitality. Oliver looked at the empty plates and bowls. His face turned dark. They finished a whole pot of rice again. Are you two demons? Although he was unwilling, Sadie's cooking skills are much better than mine. It's like the standard of a gourmet chef. I want to keep a sister like this. Tears flowed down the face of the pot in the kitchen. Dear friend, although I'm sorry to master, this is what real cooking looks like. Ronan and Otto were already in tears. Finally, they broke through. I didn't expect that breaking through to the spirit division stage only required having a meal. Sadie, who is so cute, has superb cooking skills and extraordinary strength. Do you know how powerful Kitchen Knife's random strike is? Not long ago, Kitchen Knife's strike directly shattered the secret realm made by a mortal emperor. That blade exudes a magnificent momentum, and the blade chi alone can span tens of millions of kilometers. It has cut through countless mountains, rivers, and streams, but its momentum remains undiminished. Just now, a significant figure from the Peak sect has arrived. A massive flying boat slowly landed. A blonde, blue-eyed beauty descended. She is Princess Lydia of the kingdom. Kira saw her good girlfriend arriving, so they started chatting. Princess stared at Kira and said, you are getting more and more plump as you grow. Kira blushed and said shyly, no way. At this moment, a boy named Leo walked over. Have you not seen me, cousin? Kira saw Leo and frowned, saying, why did you follow us? It seems like the toad wants to eat swan meat again. Lydia, stay away from this guy. Leo, realizing his intentions were exposed, quickly tried to defend himself, saying, "Princess, don't listen to her nonsense." He then walked up to Kira and whispered a threat. "You've really grown more courageous. Do you believe I'll bully you like I did when we were kids?" Kira, however, remained disdainful. "Back then, your cultivation achievement was higher, so I couldn't beat you. But now, if you have the ability, you can give it a try." After speaking, she dispersed the cultivation achievement aura around her body. Leo fell to the ground, his face full of disbelief. "How is this possible? How did you achieve nascent soul 5th layer?" Kira said proudly with hands on hips. "Humph. Compared to you 3 geniuses at Golden Core 5th layer kingdom, how about that?" Princess excitedly grabbed her hand. "Kira, what's going on with your cultivation achievement? Could it be related to that sword light?" "What sword light?" "Yes, that's right. That's also why I came to see you today. That night, I am traveling with my father to attend an auction in another city. That night, I was on the top of the attic admiring a mountain peak. It is said that the mountain peak is a famous scenic spot in the area. There are countless treasures of nature there." I haven't finished talking yet. Suddenly, a sword aura swept across the mountain. The sword light may have been emitted by a powerful individual practicing martial arts. It has cut through countless mountains and continues with undiminished momentum. Not just me. Many powerful individuals in cultivation have followed the sword light and found their way here. Kira turned her head apologetically and said, "That's not sword light, it's blade light." And the princess, with excitement shining in her eyes, said, "You really do know." She happened to see Leo eavesdropping, so she directly took her best friend and left. "Lydia, let's talk somewhere else. Don't let this toad eavesdrop. Don't be like this, bring along your cousin too." Then the two flew away directly, leaving Leo alone in the mountains. In the air, Kira was telling Princess everything. She forgot all the things she needed to keep secret. Princess looked incredulous. She couldn't believe that such a powerful individual existed. "Kira, you're not lying to me, are you?" Kira said. "Of course I'm not lying to you. I'll take you to see Senior right away." She had forgotten all about not disturbing Senior. What on earth happened? A princess is actually going to offer herself to Oliver. Just a while ago, Oliver was just about to try out his newly acquired flute, and Kira suddenly popped out from the crack of the door. "Senior, are you home? It's great to see you. Can we come in?" And Oliver stood up and said, "Kira, come in quickly. How come you have time to come to my place today?" Then she motioned for Princess to come in. Princess got really anxious as soon as she stepped into the yard. "Kira, isn't this yard just too terrifying? There are so many powerful gazes here. Why do I feel like I'm being seen through?" Kira comforted. "You relax a bit. Senior agrees to let us in. They won't give us a hard time." Then she pushed Princess directly in front of Oliver. "This time it was actually my friend who wanted to meet you, Senior. So we came to bother you on purpose." Princess was very nervous and shyly said, "Senior?" Oliver felt embarrassed when he saw such a beautiful princess. The young lady doesn't need to be so polite, just be casual. Although he has gotten used to being called Senior. But I really don't have any strength at all. Lovely Sadie suddenly peeked out from behind the tree. "Brother, who are they?" After Oliver introduced Sadie. Under Sadie's cute appearance, directly caused the excitement of the two girls' hearts. She is truly deserving of being Senior's sister. Such strong skill. However, she is so cute. And then, they cuddled Sadie and rubbed against her. Oliver watched as the three girls rubbed against each other. Oliver coughed awkwardly but politely. Then he pulled out his flute to calm his nerves. He had just started playing the flute. Two beautiful women were startled by the sound of the flute. Is this sudden surge of feelings a sign of imminent enlightenment? Not the case. I clearly did not practice any cultivation method. I have already entered sudden enlightenment. And in the corner, Immortal Sword was stunned by the flute sound. This flute sound contains a very high level of Tao luster. Just listening for a while, my injuries were more than half healed. I didn't expect this person to not only have terrifying strength, but also such extraordinary skills. So as long as I stay here, wouldn't I also have the chance to become a magic artifact one day? I decide not to leave. I want to become the strongest magic artifact. The nearby broom couldn't stand it anymore. You, shut up and stand in the corner for me. It is scared. Immortal Sword is standing in the corner trembling. Okay, yes, no problem. It's just a piece of music. Princess goes directly from the first layer of the golden core to breaking through to the 6th layer of the golden core. Kira also broke through to the 9th layer of nascent soul. The two of them excitedly bowed and thanked directly. Thank you for Senior's fortune. Princess continued. Senior, I am deeply grateful for your great kindness and virtue, and I have no way to repay it. I can. Oliver immediately refused, saying, No, you must not offer yourself. Princess cried bitterly at being rejected mercilessly, while Oliver was completely puzzled. What were those cultivators thinking? They often ask for a mortal as if it's nothing. Is it really because I am too handsome? Afterwards, he put on a smug expression. I think you have never seen such a scene in your entire life. The two beautiful girls were dressed in tattered clothes. Their perfect figures were showcased to the fullest. Just now, Princess Lydia wanted to offer herself, but she was ruthlessly rejected by Oliver. Princess said grumpily outside. My first confession in life was decisively rejected. Anyway, I am also a princess, while Kira comforted by the side. All right. After all, Senior is an immortal. It's normal for him not to be interested in us. Princess felt something was wrong. Have you ever confessed your feelings to someone as well? This made Kira's toes curl up in embarrassment. Of course not. How could I ever bring myself to say such things? Shortly after, Princess pulled out a purple stone from her sleeve. This is the sound-hiding stone that my father and I bought at the auction last time. It can record sounds, she explained. Just now, Senior mentioned about playing, so I secretly recorded it. The two quickly found a place to listen. The sound of a flute came out from the sound-hiding stone. They quickly sat down cross-legged and started meditating. Not long after, both of them successfully broke through. Kira advanced from the 9th layer of nascent soul to the peak of nascent soul. Princess, on the other hand, directly jumped 3 levels to the peak of golden core. So the two of them wanted to use this stone to level up further. But as the spiritual energy was infused, with a bang, the stone exploded. The purple smoke produced by the explosion began to corrode their clothes. Before long, both of their clothes were nearly completely corroded. This made them very embarrassed. On the other side, Leo, who was abandoned by the two, appeared. He instantly produced a map navigation in his hand to prevent getting separated from Princess. Luckily, he had already placed a tracking spell on Princess's clothes earlier. Finding you two is just like taking candy from a baby. You are indeed quite exceptional. But you are really a pervert. At this point, he noticed that they had been staying in one place without moving for a while. Then, their location suddenly disappeared. And what he didn't notice was, the two of them slipped onto the flying boat unnoticed while he wasn't paying attention. There was a crack as they stepped on a twig. What's going on? He turned around and asked. When did you two get here? But as soon as he turned his head, Kira shouted, Turn your head away, and don't look over here. Believe me, I'll kill you. Leo quickly turned his head and covered his eyes. He was full of envy. Am I not mistaken? The two of them have actually improved a lot in strength. Their rapid improvement in strength must be related to the place they stayed in for a long time just now. I must go take a look. This makes me unable to resist making a comment. Do you cultivators cultivate your eyes away? Completely oblivious to the point. How perverted is this young man? The powerful and overbearing aura of the magic artifact directly crushed him to the ground. While he blushed and his blood vessels expanded, he felt very comfortable. Just a moment ago, Leo found Oliver's yard based on the previous location. This yard is the place where they stayed before. It doesn't look like a big deal, but as soon as he stepped into the yard with 1 foot, the rooster and broom in the yard directly emit a terrifying overbearing aura. The terrifying overbearing aura pounds directly towards Leo. He struggled to support his body while lying on the ground. What kind of monsters are these? Just the overbearing aura alone immobilizes me. It's like his entire body is being whipped. Later, he was sweating and blushing as he spoke. This feeling is not bad. Divine Beast Rooster has never seen such a scene before at his size. He quickly took a few steps back. He wouldn't be excited, would he? Why do I feel like this little guy's blood pressure is skyrocketing? And Magic Artifact Broom was also frightened by Leo. Could this little guy have some special preferences? The scene shifted. Oliver was walking back with Sadie. They had just arrived at the doorstep when they saw a man kneeling in the yard. Why is another person kneeling? Was he tripped? The doorstep. He quickly went forward to help him. Brother, are you okay? Oliver easily helped him up. He was able to instantly relieve all the pressure from me. Thank you. It looks like the master of the courtyard has returned. Afterwards, he looked at Oliver and saw a strong aura emanating from around Oliver. Then he immediately knelt down again. Paying respects to Senior, I mistakenly intruded into Senior's courtyard. I hope for forgiveness. Oliver sighed and felt speechless about this. Brother, if I'm not mistaken, you should be a relative of Otta's family, right? Your family often comes to my place. I'm used to it. Don't take it to heart. This made Leo even more surprised. Senior is indeed a brilliant strategist. Kira couldn't have mentioned me. Senior can just take one look and know my information. Such deductive ability is truly terrifying. Oliver was stunned on the spot. You and your whole family are more and more mentally disturbed. And every time you're in my yard, you're all sweating profusely. This kidney deficiency is also a hereditary family disease. Sadie walked over with a bamboo basket on her back. Brother, I'm going in first. Leo was even more shocked when he saw Sadie. There was another little girl who looked about 12 years old. She actually had such strength. Then he knelt down in front of Sadie again. Senior. Oliver really couldn't bear to watch it any longer. Please stop calling everyone Senior. Do you know how terrible this person's understanding ability is? Oliver is just a random comment. He can create martial arts from it. Oliver always kneels down whenever he sees Leo. He felt that he must be suffering from kidney deficiency. So he quickly helped him up and said earnestly, If you are weak, don't strain yourself too much. Cultivate and pay attention to balancing work with rest. Moreover, your body is inherently unstable, so don't kneel down so often. Do you understand that a man's knees are as precious as gold? Leo was stunned on the spot after hearing that a man's knees are as precious as gold. What is the origin or illusion behind it? And he said I am unsteady. Could it be that Senior has noticed my shortcomings? Although I am one of the 3 geniuses of the kingdom, with cultivation achievements similar to the other 2, I have always been suppressed by the other 2. I am always in the 3rd place in this body technique. The fundamental difference lies in the fact that I have not been able to improve my martial arts in body technique. Was that just Senior guiding me? So he quickly closed his eyes and recalled what Oliver had just said. Kneeling down, gathering chi and sinking, focusing on the calves. Golden. Turning chi to rise. To lighting to form. That's how golden light burst around him, making a swooshing sound. Then he suddenly opened his eyes wide, let out a loud roar, and leaped directly into the sky. Oliver was fascinated by the scene. Wow! Is this the martial arts of a cultivator? It looks so powerful. Leo was excited and blushing in the air. Success? I have created my own martial arts. even though I received guidance from a senior. But this is an achievement that only people at the Tribulation Crossing stage can accomplish. At this time, Oliver shouted from below. Go back and pay attention to balancing work and rest to take care of your body. You've been kneeling for too long, and your blood circulation is not good. Don't push yourself too hard. Be careful of problems arising. What kind of problems? His voice had just fallen. His legs started to twitch, causing severe pain. This shocked Leo. Senior noticed that there were issues with my martial arts practice. After adjusting his state to maintain the circulation of spiritual energy, he flew away directly. Thank you, Senior, for your guidance. Oliver looks confused. Is reminding you to tonify your kidneys considered as guidance? The scene changes. They are in a small town. Oliver is taking Sadie for a walk in the street. Sadie, what do you feel like eating today? Sadie joyfully responds, watermelon. At this time, two passers-by are chatting. Are you sure the baby is nearby? That's right. Many powerful individuals have already come here to investigate. Oliver couldn't help but feel suspicious. Are there more cultivators here now? How pitiful this immortal sword is. It was criticized and educated by powerful individuals in the yard. Now it is being threatened to run errands. The divine beast magic artifact in the yard is also being discussed. There are more cultivators appearing near the kitchen knife. It must be because of the attack you made. If these people investigate here, there will definitely be many people staying nearby, disturbing the peace here. You figure it out. And the carp poked its head out smugly, saying with a smile, That's right. You caused the trouble, so solve it yourself. The kitchen knife, feeling numb on the scalp, said, I didn't expect the immortal emperor of this world to create such a trashy secret realm with a light pillar. This is definitely the most rubbish immortal emperor I've encountered. And Master hasn't spoken to let me out. I can't get out either. How to resolve this? At this moment, the immortal sword popped its head out to watch the scene. The most rubbish immortal emperor, he said, speaking in a different tone. At this moment, Kitchen Knife suddenly appeared in front of Immortal Sword. He almost scared the soul of Immortal Sword away. By the way, this little trash in the corner, you helped me with something on how to frighten Immortal Sword, who is weak and helpless, into trembling. Just give me your orders. I will definitely handle it properly. The kitchen knife meaningfully touched Immortal Sword, and your injuries should be almost healed. The abilities of shape transferring and the immortal artifact should... The Immortal Sword was trembling with fear, with tears in its eyes, saying, What? Rising to fame and becoming renowned. You just want to pin the blame on me. Kitchen Knife touched his head again after hearing that. Immortal Sword's attitude changed drastically due to being scared. Yes, sir. I will go complete the mission now. Then it flew out of the yard with a swoosh. It arrived at the previous location of the secret realm. The Immortal Sword looked at the huge ravine and thought to itself, the blade light from that day should have been able to fly all the way to the end of the continent. There must be many collapsed mountain peaks. If people follow the destroyed mountain peaks, they will definitely be able to pinpoint this location. And here is another ruin flattened by the light pillar of the secret realm. It will surely become an area of their attention. After that, he transformed into a human form. He looked like a young man with golden hair. Then he swung out several sword chi, causing massive explosions wherever they landed. Immediately, several people ran over. Look! Human-shaped artifact spirit immortal artifact. It seems that the attack just now was indeed caused by it. So, it turns out that a treasure has really emerged. The corners of Immortal Sword's mouth slightly curved upwards. Finally, you have arrived. At this moment, an uncle with a face full of scars and long red hair walked over. He is Master Arthur of T Tower. I have a way to capture the immortal artifact. He then took out a disc. This treasure is called the Immortal Trapping Formation and requires a large amount of spiritual energy to operate. As all of you are sages at the Great Ascension stage, working together to operate this treasure and trap the immortal artifact is not a problem. Later on, the choice of who the immortal artifact will choose as its master will depend on each person's fortune. What do you all think? Everyone nodded in agreement. Don't be fooled, the immortal artifact behaves meekly in Oliver's courtyard. But outside, he's struck with a heavy blow. Immortal Sword saw that everyone was going to join forces to deal with him. He just sneered disdainfully. Arthur's hands formed seals. A large array appeared beneath the immortal sword. It's been a long time since I've seen this immortal trapping formation. I'll eagerly anticipate it. 2 hours have passed just like that. The immortal sword is almost gathering dust from waiting so long. And everyone's nearly depleted all their spiritual energy in order to activate the immortal trapping formation. The immortal sword can't stand to see this. Just for this piece of junk, you still haven't filled it with spiritual energy? So boring. Otherwise, I'll go down and help them fill it up. At this point, the immortal trapping formation finally succeeded. A huge golden chain flew out from the formation. The chain rushed towards the immortal sword. It instantly locked down the immortal sword. Arthur was extremely excited to see this. Success? Immortal Sword smiled and said. Just as I was about to perform, with a bang, the immortal trapping formation that everyone worked together to set up was destroyed. Arthur knelt down in despair after seeing this scene. Immortal Sword said arrogantly, Ants, my power exceeds your imagination. I don't kill ants. Let me tell you something. The reason I come down to the human world is to find a master who is destined to me. Then he pointed to a direction. 1 month later, at the center of the mainland, I will appear there. Those who are destined to me, I don't mind helping them become the #1 in this mortal realm. Even in the immortal realm, I can make a place for him. After completing the task, he disappeared with a swish. The crowd breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Immortal Sword leave. Then they all prepared to go back and tell their own sects about this news. The door slowly opened. Immortal Sword cautiously peeked out. The matter has been taken care of. Those mortal cultivators probably won't come again. Kitchen Knife praised. You are quite efficient in handling things. However, I have to remind you that Master is coming back soon. Do not let Master see you coming in and out of the yard. Just become an ordinary weapon in the future, otherwise, be careful of the annihilation of your spiritual body. The Immortal Sword was shocked as soon as it heard that. What? Does Senior kill me if Senior sees me using immortal power, Senior? The door of the courtyard suddenly opened. Immortal Sword was so scared that it quickly turned back into its original form and leaned against the corner of the wall. I wonder, where did I put the axe that I bought in the town last time? Immortal Sword looked at the tau luster on Oliver Sr.'s body and wondered why it had disappeared. Could it be that too many cultivators around caused it to hide? Oliver suddenly turned his head and happened to see the Immortal Sword on the seat. So he picked it up. I will try using you today. Immortal Sword suddenly had a bad feeling. What are you trying to chop down a tree? Whoever owns this Immortal Sword can be invincible in the mortal realm, but Oliver is using this Immortal Sword to chop trees. It would be a beautiful thing to use the Immortal Sword to chop trees. In a heavily damaged house, Arthur came back to his old home and sighed. I didn't expect it to still be here. It has been hundreds of years, and my parents have passed away for many years. I've grown old too, but coming back here, I can still recall the good old days. At this moment, golden light shimmered around him. I've had a boost in my Taoism level. Afterwards, he turned around and left. When he passed by a grove of trees, he saw Oliver chopping trees in a vigorous manner. Arthur's descendants were all stunned when they saw him. Is that the immortal artifact from before? That person is using the immortal artifact to chop firewood.